violations by Canada. I'm on Canadian soil, and eventually, I guess I'm going to show you, like, basically first here. Like, this should load immediately. I'm not connected on the internet, so this should load immediately. So, His Majesty King Charles III, the King, the Prince of Wales, during the 2017 Royal Tour of Canada. Canada is a constitutional monarchy where the sovereign is Canada's head of state. King Charles automatically became sovereign of Canada on the passing of his predecessor, Queen Elizabeth II. Right, so by constitution, the monarch acts as basically the king of Canada. Like, he's more powerful than the prime minister. Prime ministers have a shelf life of 4 years because they're fucking parasites. Right, they're useless. Right, they can't be trusted. That's why they have a shelf life of 4 years. So I'm just going to show you here why I'm going to be the true. Here's the proof right there that I'm going to be the true king of the United Kingdom. So I'm the sovereign of Canada. So any of these crimes by these cops and these prime ministers or these ministers in Canada or these nurses or doctors, just remember you violated the king. And this is so let's see when it's called regicide when they try to kill the king. So let's see what the historical crimes are. Or consequences are for trying to kill a king. Historically, what are the consequences for trying to kill a king? Historically, what are the consequences for trying to kill a king? Because I, Christian Eric Ronnie Meyer, am going to be the king of the United Kingdom, guaranteed. And they should search immediately. It's showing that I have 2 bars of LTE. What is the punishment for? What is the crime for somebody killing a king? Regicide is the purposeful killing of a monarch or sovereign of a polity and is often associated with the usurpation of power. Regicide could be a person responsible for the killing. The word comes from the Latin roots. And so what are the historical consequences of regicide? In conclusion, regicide of Charles challenges divine rights of kings and led to political shift of power sparked by the religious diversity, however, led to the period of instability and violence. Okay, so let's see. Let's search this. When there are an attempt of regicide on a king, historically, what are the consequences? Hanged, drawn, and quartered is typically what they used to do, but so I'll just show you right here. So that means executed, basically. What is a crime against the king called? It's called high treason. It's historically English high treason in the United Kingdom. So okay, there's that. Okay, so it's called high treason. So this is, everybody gets all those counts of high treason against myself, Christian Eric Ronnie Meyer. What are the consequences of high treason in Canada, in the United Kingdom? Because UK is Commonwealth, because Canada is a Commonwealth country. The Crime Disorder Act 1980 became a maximum sentence for treason in the United Kingdom. It has been life imprisonment. The last trial, life imprisonment. So every one of you human cockroaches that violates myself, Christian Eric Arnie Meyer, who's going to be the true king of the United Kingdom and other monarchies, just remember, life imprisonment. And the best thing about it is, once I show that you use computational medicine and you try to, every time I get wrinkled on film, you're trying to kill me. Right, so that's attempted regicide. So that's life imprisonment. And so in North Korea, if you make a crime against the state, you know what happens? Your kids go to prison, your parents go to prison, your brother and sister go to prison. And this is how often they allow people from North Korea and Canada to violate me. This is how often they allow people from around the world to violate me in Canada. But at the same time, they're able to protect those Canadians with no power, right? So all these crimes that they allow to happen to myself, Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. So remember, I'm going to cherry pick laws, the harshest laws from around the world, and then I'm going to impose those on you. So once I show the average Canadian that you secretly kill people, and that Canada doesn't have a death penalty, I'll just show you this. Canada doesn't have a death penalty. So once I show the average Canadian that you secretly kill people when we don't have a death penalty, I'm going to be able to convert that life in prison for high treason into an execution. So let's see. Does Canada have a death penalty? Say they made me make a typo there. Once again, here's the robotics that are making me make those typos. So they're all human perpetrators. That's high treason. High treason. Everyone uses. No, Canada does not have a death penalty. Wow, but this is how many Canadians they secretly kill every day. So they don't have a death penalty, and so let's see. So they did hack me to forget there's some loser from Wawa. His name's Xavier. He's a loser. Anyways, but so what is the punishment for biologically mutilation of a citizen? Because I'll just play after this how I could get wrinkled on film, so Crimes Against Humanity and War Crimes Act. Wow, imprisonment for a term not more than okay, but then there's high treason right on top of that. So what is mutilation a war crime? Mutilation is a war crime under international law. So let's see. Under international law, if Canada were to use biological or chemical weapons on people, is that a crime? Let's see. Guaranteed it's a crime. Chemical and biological weapons are banned under international law. The ban of chemical weapons, biological, are meant to affect humans. It is absolute. It does not matter whether they are lethal or not. Wow. So you're done, Canada, as a country. So historically, what happens to the Prime Minister for using biological weapons on humans? Are they executed? Historical biological weapons. Is using biological weapons a war crime? The Geneva Protocol. So that protocol, that's bacterial methods of warfare, gases, poisons, asphyxiation. Well, that's all biological weapons. So let's see. Okay. Has any leader who has ever used biological weapons been executed? the name? Hussein was. Oh, they're in the AI. Wow, they're not giving it. So they're saying here. Okay, so anyways, it's going to be very easy once I show the Canadian public, the average Canadian. I'll tune in the Canadian psyche right now. That's what they think about you using biological weapons on me. That was the psyche of all Canadians, right? So they're going to have no problem. And watch this. I'm going to tune in the psyche once again of all Canadians. And once I execute all these terrorists that use biological weapons, watch how happy they look. That's how happy the Canadians were for me executing biological terrorists. How could I do this without brain-computer interface, right? So anyways, I'm not going to show you those people because they try to recruit them. So using digital impulse to get all perpetrators. And I'm going to show you how they use biological weapons on me. I'll show you proof because I'll just show that when I searched online, it's not possible for somebody on live video to get wrinkles and for the wrinkles to disappear immediately. But I could do it. And I'll just show you right here. No MobiZen. This is what I'm using right here. This with the big M. It's MobiZen screen recorder. MobiZen screen recorder does not have a built-in wrinkle reduction feature for recorded videos, and that's what getting all those perpetrators. And while MobiZen is a powerful tool for screen recording, it primarily focuses on screen activity itself. And so right here, no, it's not possible for somebody to develop wrinkles on live video for them to disappear instantly without any physical movement. So I'm going to prove, well, I guess before I do that, I'll play the video first, proving that this could happen. Then I'm going to show you why I have evolved human biology. And my dad had a servants, Barry John Diggins Sr. He's passed away in 2001. And his dad had servants. And the Canadian government, actually, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my official great-grandfather, he had a mausoleum. So that's basically a house at the cemetery. There was 4 crypts in it, and they destroyed the crypts, so I couldn't find the clue. And so that's the mausoleum. Like it would cost over probably $150,000 in today's money. And once again, my dad had servants until he was 10. My grandfather had servants his entire life, and when he lived at home with his parents. And my forefathers all had servants. I have nobility. That my great grandmother on my mother's side owned a hotel, so I had nobility on both sides of my family. And my family went to a royal wedding on August 28th, 1871, and I look like Princess Helena, and I'm a descendant of that individual. And I'm related to, I have the most relations to Queen Victoria on the planet. That's why I'm going to be the king of the United Kingdom. Edward VIII looks like my twin. His younger brother, George VI, looks like my twin. And when I was younger, and their dad, George V, looks like my twin when I was a kid. And his dad, Edward VII, looks like me. And Queen Victoria was walked down the aisle by Augustus Frederick, who looks like me, looks like my dad, and he was born on my grandfather's birthday. And on the back of the royal wedding, there was an invitation, a name that said Colin Campbell. And when I looked up, when I Google searched Colin Campbell, they made me stumble across the first Baron. He was a field marshal in the British Army. In 1871, the Brits were the superpower on the planet. And he was the most powerful guy in the army. And he was born on October 20th. I, Christian Narragani Meyer, was born on October 20th. And my first cousin Justin was born on August 14th. Colin Campbell died on August 14th. And my mom's brother, my Uncle John, looks like Colin Campbell as well. And once again, his son was born on August 14th. So what are the chances that I stumble across this name that said Colin Campbell on the back of a royal wedding? And Colin Campbell was born October 20th. Me and my dad were born October 20th. And he died August 14th. My first cousin Justin was born August 14th, and my mom died August 13th. What are the chances? Like, that's pretty coincidental. Then my half-sister, Brandy, she lived on Princess Crescent. Then my mother-in-law, she got me a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. And then behind the Royal York in Toronto, there's a Piper Street. So they try to do brain computer interface, some remove right there on me. But anyway, so behind Royal York in Toronto is a Piper Street. And then 1 block away from King Street, so here's the perpetrators right there. There's a Royal Bank where I would panhandle, and right beside that, they were doing construction, and it was Heritage Restoration Inc. There was a guy that looked like my brother, his name's Wade, and there's a guy that looked like my uncle John that worked there. And how many times did they pretend that they were going to restore my heritage, Christian Eric Garney Meyer? They lie all the time. They pretend in simulations. They pretend that this hospital is a hotel, right? They're monsters. They're human monsters. So anyways, I'll just show you all the proof that the Royal, well, actually I said I was going to show you how I can age on film and rejuvenate first of all with live video. And once again, that's not supposed to be possible. And then I'll show you the Royal wedding information here. Okay, this is a long folder, So this isn't technically possible. When I searched on the internet, remember, it said this isn't possible.
My name's Christian Eric Garney.
So you can see I'm not moving. I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy, and I just happened to have a beard yesterday, and so people are pretending to be me, and nobody can do this.
Meyer, and I'm going to show you how you can basically restore the video.
So they can only do this in subliminal systems. They can't do this with their live camera like I did and post it online and have it be scrutinized. They can't do it. Like Xavier can't do it. In fact, I can't do it. None of these Luthers could do it.
Blind. I'm just making this video because I emailed this concept to the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, and you know what they did? They, look at this. I'm just getting aged on film here, and so I'm going to turn off my human thread, and so you could hear me.
So you can see how I got aged. I got wrinkled on film. That was the Canadian National Institute for the Blind using biological weapons on me. And because once again, my name is Christian Eric Garney Meyer, so it's my technology. And so once I was going to chastise the Canadian National Institute because I sent them an email. I basically said, hey, with nanotechnology eye cameras that have Bluetooth, can communicate with in the brain that's responsible for vision. It's called visual primary cortex now. So these people are pretending to be me. Once again, in subliminal, in transparent video, they can never be scrutinized like I can. So they connect all those cadavers to me, like through remote chemical electrolysis. So they're imposters of me. So they're a threat to my existence. They're parasites, and people kill parasites, right? Like we take bacterial medication to kill parasites, right? So anyways, so through chemical electrolysis. So I with nanotechnology eye cameras that have Bluetooth could communicate with in the brain with nanotechnology responsible for vision. Once again, I'm the true king trying to interrupt me here. And then it could, that's the visual primary cortex, and then it could project to the mind's eye. So I was able to I sent an email to the Canadian National Institute for the Blind. Here's the proof of the email right there. And they didn't even give me a response. That's why they aged me on film. And once again, that's not possible. And Canada's using biological weapons against me. These are the nurses at the hospital, and they can't use computational medication on me because they're terrorists. I'm the head of state, and I'll just prove this now. You know that I am. Like, there's proof that I am. They know that I am. So it's attempt to regicide, and I'm going to execute you accordingly in the future once I'm king. That's what I do. That's what people do. That's what kings do. When people try to kill them, once again, historically, it's horse-drawn and quartered. They hang you, then they quarter you. That means they cut you in 4 different pieces, and then they put you in different parts of the empire so nobody ever fucking tries to kill them again. Okay, so let's see. So I'll just show you here, Captain James Cook line. So here's Edward VIII. You can see how he looks like my twin when I was younger, especially in this picture, like these pictures right here. So this is Princess Helena. She was, once again, she's a woman, and this is what I look like when I was younger. She looks identical to me. When I see a picture of her, it's like, wow, that looks like me, but a woman. And when I look at Edward VIII, I'm like, wow, that looks like me. And here's Captain James Cook. It's like, wow, that looks like me. He discovered Australia. And then here's George V. It's like, wow, that looks like me and my brother Barry John Diggins Jr. that passed away. They covered him up. Once again, that's what he looks like officially, George V. And so, wow, oh, this is William Kaiser, the last German emperor. Wow, that looks like me, Christian Eric Garney Meyer. Holy cow, do I ever look like all these royals? And here's a royal wedding. It says right there, 28th of August. And then my family's last name at the time was Campbell. And then it says 1871 Castle right there. So this is, and it says Princess Louise. So I'll just show you a picture. this is the people that were at the wedding, and you can see how she looks like me, Christian Eric Arnie Meyer. That's Princess Louise. And so on the back of the royal invitation, it says Mr. and Mrs. Campbell, and then it says Colin Campbell. And my official grandfather's name is Jack. We're Dad's maternal great-grandparents. So then when I looked up the name, this is this is what the man looks like. Where is it? This is what Colin Campbell looks like. He looks like my mom's brother. In some pictures, he looks like me and my dad. And once again, he was a field marshal. And he was born on October 20th and died on August 14th. My mom was, here's a better picture where he looks like my mom's brother. And he looks like me and my dad, if we were to get wrinkled. And he's a field marshal, first bearing. And this was Queen Victoria's oldest daughter. If you can see her like that, that's what she looks like. And this is what my daughter looks like without non-organic. She looks identical to Queen Victoria's oldest daughter. And this was her name was Augustus Victoria, and this was her husband. She looks like my dad, Barry John Diggins Sr., especially if I show you a picture from the side. Like, that's what my dad looked from the side, identical to me. And so here is you can see this is generation 1 biology. You can see that he doesn't have a triangle, and there's indentations right here, and there's the back muscle structure. And with computed tomography test, I'll prove, like, this is mine. I have a V right there. You can clearly see the V that I, Christian Eric Arnie Meyer, have. I'm a white man, and I don't have any indentations. So I've evolved human biology. And this video shows my pectoral muscles.
See the muscles right there? They're different.
So you can see right there when I did my pectoral dance, look how it went all the way up almost to my shoulder.
See the muscles right there?
Like, see right there, the muscles move right there. Look right there. Nobody has pectoral muscles that move like that. See how high up it goes up to the end of my tattoo. Look how high my tattoo is, and it went all the way up to the end of my tattoo. Now I'll show you another video. I'm just gonna transfer this somewhere first before I do that. Copy. Computer stuff. So I'll show you another video where of different pectoral muscles, and you see that they don't go anywhere near as high. They only go up halfway, and it proves that I have different biology. And then the whole claim to being a king or emperor, czar, emir, or sultan is you're like, hey, I have the oldest bloodline on the planet. That's the whole claim to it. Is like, hey, I have the oldest. I'm the oldest. So let's see. Should be able to find it down here. They hacked my body to click that. So again, those human terrorists with that's an attempt to that's high treason. That's high treason. Every time you hack my body, that's high treason. I don't want to be violated by human perpetrators. That might be this video right here. So I'm at the Superior Hospital, and Dr. Chinedu, CHINEDU, he's a terrorist. It's Dr. CHINEDU, and then Ogbonna, OGBONNA. He says it's psychotic to refuse blood work in Canada. He's an idiot. Okay, so this is the wrong video. So I'm just trying to look for guy here. I posted lots of videos. I'm just gonna pause it while I find the pictorial dance for the regular biology. I'm just gonna try to make this quick because I have to hand in my phone soon. So, because I'm day 76 at the Superior Hospital, and if you watch, I'll just show you my videos here. I post that very compelling video right here. So This one right here, you should watch it. It's 51 minutes, but schizophrenia is man-made, scientific proof. I prove scientifically, unequivocally, that schizophrenia is man-made. And I found a whole bunch of facts online. I just coaxed or massaged the internet to tell me the truth. And this one, Grandiose Ha, shows how talented I am and why the Canadian government violates me. So it should be under here, so... Well, I'll say right now, like, I wrote a couple songs. Like, one is like, I came, I saw, and conquer, and I make them women and the men, well, fucking rapists right there, they're perpetrators. But as I came, I saw, and conquer, and I make the women moan and the men enthrall, which is quite astonishing. I put in the raps, now I'm one of the best. One hand bra and clip, next thing you know, she grabs my trousers and unzip. Or, he's the poker dancer. He knows the answers. He makes the bets. She gets wet with temptation. He is a sensation. So once again, those people that pretend to be me, that's high treason and attempted regicide. They register me in the system to try to kill me, right? So that's life imprisonment, and I'm going to send your entire family in prison. Then once I convince the Canadian public to, and people in your country to be able to justify me executing you, I'm going to execute you, because that's what kings do. That's what they do for high treason. Remember, attempted regicide, when I showed you at the beginning of this video, historically they hang you, then they horse, drawn, and quarter you. And horse, drawn, and quarter is when they tie it. They have a horse and they tie the horse to each one of your limbs, and then they whip the 4 horses, and then the horses run, and then they pull off your arms and your legs. That's what they do. That's what kings have done in the past. When people try to kill them, when they try to usurp their power. And so I'm gonna be able to do this justified, because the Canadian public wants this, especially in Canada. Like in Canada, we're supposed to be a peacekeeping country. And so here's an example of how the Canadian government profiles me. And watch when I challenge the government on film. The police ushers the government, like the nurse pretended to be a doctor. So as soon as I start challenging them on film about the secret profiling system, the police got him off camera. Watch it.
No, I don't want your card. So we're not in a hospital right now.
So they pretend that they're in a hospital in the subliminal system to justify, like, so you can see where it says nurse right there. And he pretended to be a doctor right there. And so he pretended that we were in a hospital, and we're not in a hospital. And here's the ghost reading, and that's what they try to set me up with. And here's how many times they don't follow my directive to stop predators.
Use subliminal whatsoever. Have you ever used subliminal in your life? No, you haven't. Anyways, okay, take care, Christian. Yeah, there's a ghost reading wherever.
Okay, so they made me, that was March 11th, 2025. I posted enough videos. I'm going to try to hand this in fast here. Man, where the heck is...
Wherever you are,
So they made me click, once again, they hijacked my body there twice to make me click.
Well, he clearly lied to me.
That's life imprisonment for, I'm going to be...
All 3 of them are hiding their biology through me, like show for the last 5 seconds, so getting all the mercury in my aura and then their aura, right? So showing them their aura small so people can crush them. So he clearly lied that.
As soon as I convince the Canadian public to execute you, I'm going to execute you. You're going to get life imprisonment first, but as soon as I can convince the Canadian public to, and this is how easy it's going to be to convince them. So you're going to get...
It's evidence, it's March 11th, 2025. No, I don't want your card, so we're...
Because the Canadian government has justified violating me because they think they can exploit me for having evolutionary biology. They're trying to say that me, like, here's proof that me and my kids are the most violated people on the planet, but they think that we're problems. We have evolved. This is my natural voice. We have evolved human characteristics, and so we're violated and as sexually exploited because of that. So I'm just trying to find this. I might have to make a 3rd video later on because I have to hand in my phone soon. They can come and grab it any minute from me. 3 species of human, as if I deleted this video. I can't believe I didn't. you know, the Syria hospital staff has tried using my phone. The other day when I grabbed my phone, I wasn't able to take a screenshot because as soon as I put in my password, the screen disappeared. But it showed that the password was attempted 5 times and they failed. So they tried to guess my password. And here's the proof that. But they don't realize I secretly take pictures of them when they're using my phone all the time. And so there's Wi-Fi paper currency. So here's all electronic crimes, and they're not going to be allowed to use any computational devices, and they're going to go to prison for high treason. Isu and T, everyone, Tanya, Rob, all the attendants, some of the nurses. So where is this? I'm going through all my videos here, and I'm just going to search real fast. I should be able to find it. Pectoral dance. Let's see this guy. So once again, you can see how he only went up halfway, where mine went all the way up past my tattoo, almost all the way up to my shoulder. And with the computed tomography tested, this is going to be easily proven. Anyways, Canada, I'm going to be sovereign, and you might as well quit now. You know, release me from this hospital today, because you don't realize, like, I'm going to be able to challenge capacity and I have so much factual evidence that I'm going to prove. Like, 'cause in my videos, like, they're saying that I have schizoaffective, psychotic with bipolar type 1, and with schizoaffective disorder, that means I can't have organized thoughts. That means I don't linearly progress. I would jump from topic to topic to topic to topic to topic. But as you watch my videos, this refutes any schizoaffective disorder. And in bipolar, in any of my videos, I'm not really happy and I'm not really sad. How come? That means I don't have bipolar. That means I don't have schizoaffective disorder. And to say that somebody refuses blood work is psychotic, that's asinine. And asinine means crazy. So I just showed the psyche of Dr. Chinidu Ogbonna. And once again, I'll just show you how to spell it so you can protest. Chinidu Ogbonna. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but whatever. My name. He goes from calling me a he to or her because they pretend that so he'd be doctor, so that's how you would spell his name at the Syria hospital. And right here, this is his information. And Chinidu Ogbonna, Dr. Chinidu Ogbonna, there's his number, active. He went to some school in Nigeria in 1995, psychiatry. And he wasn't, I guess I'll play this video real quick. He's an idiot. He wasn't even able to detect sarcasm in my video. He's like, oh, well, Christian Meyer thinks since he's king and he thinks he's biological, well, he said, he's immortal and he can't get hit by a car. And it's like, no, I said I could be biologically immortal because they connected hours to me and I've recovered. And in this video right here, I'm like, well, most of my videos are serious. This one's going to be not so serious. And then I changed the tone of my voice, attempted to be sarcastic. I'm going to try to stop these cars with my mind. I used that tone of voice. And you can see on film, but I have my hand out. And this was in 2019 while I was seeking asylum in Denmark. And you can see the European license plate. And he has his facts wrong. He lies all the time. And I have medical records that I'm going to be able to look at today. And then I'm going to my medical records, first of all, he said I was first assessed in 2017 at 42 with schizophrenia and released after a few days. Now at 47, he says that he wants to put me on the same medication that he did in 2020, but he wants to keep me in for 2 months. So when I searched online, typically people don't get schizophrenia at 40, and typically they're not released after a few days. And typically they're not held for 2 months when they've already had historic experience with that type of medicine. So he's a monster.
I've been posting a lot of serious videos, so I'm going to post one that's not so serious. I'm going to stop these cars with my mind.
So you could hear me say I'm not being serious. So that means I'm joking around. And I changed the tone of my voice so he wasn't able to recognize sarcasm. And you can see I'm about 30 meters away from the lights. The cars were stopped. They were going slow. And nobody even honked the horn. I had zero worries of getting hit because I had my hand out. The only way I could get hit is if they were driving with their eyes closed down the road. And I was watching it too. They didn't even honk. None of them honked. You can see the European license plate. So here's the amount of pollution they just put in my brain to make me forget my next thought here. But that's terrorism. That's biological warfare. So I remembered exactly what it was in less than 2 seconds. So all that pollution in it, I remembered immediately. It was he didn't want me to show you this. Okay, let's parasites. I'm trying to guess the screenshot. How on February 9th, 2024, in that Neuroimage magazine, they said if you, right here it is, I believe. Oh no, that's subliminal. How subliminal could change your behavior. On the Neuroimage magazine, it says if you can't recognize sarcasm, it's basically you have an unhealthy mind, because if you can recognize sarcasm, it indicates that you have a healthy mind. So where is it? I think it might be this one right here. No. So they have Bill C18, so, okay, that was a long time ago, so I'll just search it online real fast. It's easy enough to find because I know the exact date. And you can see that I've already searched it before. So a psychologist explains the irresistible appeal of sarcasm. The journal Neuroimage reveals recognizing sarcasm signals a healthy brain, and sarcasm is a versatile communication tool. So once again, so there's Chendu's, show non-organic, what they try to add in there is pretend that Chendu Akwan had a healthy mind, and it's shown his historic mind, and then showing Christian Eric Meyer's historic mind without any non-organic. And they use they try to pretend right there, but they use my psyche to evade profiling. Right, and I have evolved human characteristics. That means, if I were to have a malignant psyche, that would mean every single human on the planet would, because I have evolved human characteristics. That means I'm more creative. I scored off the charts when I did an IQ test for pattern recognition. I scored off the charts. That means I recognize patterns. I'm going to be more successful than people. I double my money in the stock market in 16 days with real stocks on Questrade. But then I played a game, based on real stocks. And in the game, I double my money in 1 day. But the difference between the game and then with me trading with real stocks is, with real stocks, just because you sell doesn't mean people want to buy. Right, so in the game, every time I wanted to sell, people would buy. Right, so I was able to double. You started with $5,000 I doubled my money in the first day. Right, that's how successful I am. And I put a guy on straight flush. I'm not going to show in this video. Put a guy on a straight flush in Texas Hold'em poker. The odds of me doing that, because there's 2 straight flush possibilities. There was a 4 of a kind. There was 3 full houses. There was 6 straights. There's a 3 of a kind and 3 2 pairs. So if you do all the math of all those combinations, so that'd be 72,193 times 72,193. And then if you progress all the way through, the odds are 1 in 5,197,000,000 billion. And I put them on film, right? And all you have to do is watch any of my poker videos, especially if I were to make maybe my next break at 3:30 to 4:30. I'll play a poker game video, and you'll see me accurately put people on hands. I can predict cards because I pattern recognition. I know how I'm likely to play certain scenarios and what they're likely to do in certain scenarios. So I'm able to put people on hands. Because you know why? I watched a movie and the guy said he walked in and he put somebody on a hand. So I'm like, okay, to be good enough to compete in Vegas, you have to be able to do that. So I put in the reps. Now I'm one of the best. One hand, bra and clip. Next thing she grabs my trousers and unzip.